Hello y'all, it's Birch Taylor, and today we're going to talk about the villain, and we're going to talk about the love interest, and that's what we've got going on today. The second part of this video, I'm going to split it up into two parts, is going to be about my favorite books for NaNoPrep. Actually, that'll be the first part. This will be the second part. I had that backwards. But we're going to talk about my favorite writing books, and we're also going to talk about a few other things that might be helpful for NaNoPrep. And so let's get started talking about the villain and the love interest. I have white chocolate raspberry coffee today. Okay, so I pulled the card. I haven't finished filling out my index cards yet, but I pulled the King of Cups reversed for the villain. Now, this card looks much different, or the Antagonist, than this card. This card is from the Wizard's Tarot by Corinne Kenner. She also is the author of Tarot for Writers. The King of Cups reversed. When I first looked at the King of Cups, I was like, wow, it looks like Poseidon. He looks intense. So when I looked up the meaning, I kept looking at the card and I'm thinking, you know, he's underneath the water, he's holding that cup and that, you know. Oh. Emotionally controlling, manipulative, toxic, moody, withdrawn, good at hiding all of that from a distance. He's good at emotional manipulation, and he is emotionally unstable. That is our antagonist. Upon more reflection and looking it up, is that they leave people feeling insecure, doubting themselves. I pulled the Star to go with that card, and it was reversed. And then I also pulled the Nine of Swords. So the Star is despair, discouragement, negative thoughts, wearing away at you. And I kept looking at the card, and what I got from the actual card is that he is obsessed with the hero, with the protagonist. He is obsessed with her. He, as soon as he finds out she's back in town, because he's kept up with, you know, what's going on, but where she's at, but he can't really. He wasn't stalking her necessarily from a distance. He was just kind of not up close and personal stalking, but he was still stalking. Well, now she's back at home in her hometown. He is stalking her. He is obsessed with her. He is her shining star, so to speak. He thinks that if he can just get her in his life, if he could just be with her, everything in his life would be okay. He is obsessed with her. It is a psychological thing. And that's what I got from the cards that I pulled. Because the Nine of Swords is the Lord of Cruelty. It's what that card is called. It's depression, nightmares, anxiety, despair, torment, fear, psychological, suffering. What he's going to do to her, what he imagines doing to her. Things are different. When he rapes her, then he becomes, it's like he thinks he owns her. And so the dynamics of it changes. He's no longer thinking of her in terms of the way that he used to. Now he's thinking of in terms of he wants her. He wants to control her. He needs to manipulate her. He wants to own her. He wants to possess her. So that's what I got for the antagonist. Now the love interest, believe it or not, I pulled the Devil, which is actually not the devil, because when you pull it in the Wizard's Tarot, it is called the Dark Lord. Kind of like a Snape from Harry Potter. It's a professor. So the love interest, I also pulled the Knight of Cups, is the one I also pulled for that, which is the shining armor. You know, a knight in shining armor. That is the literal meaning of that card. When she first meets him, love to her is the devil. We're gonna go. She thinks of him as everything, you know, the attraction she feels for him, the connection she feels to him, it's all bad. She doesn't want anything to do with it. But he grows on her. He helps her. He becomes a friend to her. He becomes somebody very endearing to her. She does find herself attracted to him. She does think of him as sort of saving her as a knight in shining armor. And as things progress through the novel, her feelings towards him change. The more she realizes he is nothing like the rapist. He is much more like the laid back, calm, strong, courageous person that her grandfather was, that her father was. Her feelings towards him change. But when she first figures out that she is actually attracted to him and that there's this connection between them, he might as well have been the devil to her. That card doesn't always mean like an antagonist or a bad guy. It can mean change. It can mean really big change, which is how I took that card. It's a meaning of change. How she saw him was much different than how he is, and a lot of that had to do with her own issues. So that's where we're at with those. Zane is no longer the devil. He's going to become the Knight of Cups, which is the knight in shining armor. And I'm not going to make that very cliche. It's going to be subtle, little, simple things that he does to help her. That what he does to save her is going to be a very simple thing. One of those kind of karmic kind of things. You leave for work, and instead of taking a right turn, you take a left turn, so you end up avoiding an accident. That's the kind of thing that he's going to do that will help save her. I have ink all over my fingers. I have been very busy this morning. So now I'm going to go. We're going to do the second part of the video, so they're not very long. One will be today, one will be tomorrow. This is Tuesday, so one of these is going to be on Wednesday. I hope you have a good day. I am trying to get videos done ahead of time so they can get posted on time. Trying to get some of these done before NaNoPrep starts. Some last minute tips and tricks. Have a good one. Thanks, y'all. Bye.